talk about nothing we already said, but it's dope that it looks like at least there's some type of optimism that this could be over in the next, who knows, but at least that's a big step forward. The fact that there looks like there will be an end. War's going on for years, so it's looking like it could be over sooner than later. That's a win right there.
I don't know. I don't think I got the same perspective. I don't think it looked like that from my perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I see they have meetings, but every time I see they have a meeting, it never goes well.
It's
always like quick, the same day, they in and out. Like, we couldn't agree on this. Like, that one thing they did agree on was they was gonna stop doing some whatever they was doing to civilians type shit, but they still doing it from all the reports I'm seeing.
Right.
You feel me? Like, they still doing like attacking civilians, civilian structures and shit like that. So yeah, I don't know. That shit look like it's up to me. I don't know if there's no end in sight right now.
Right.
Unfortunately.
I feel that.
Unfortunately, but like you said, we talked about it. Ain't nothing really new development wise. Like, they're still out there murking each other. You feel me? Ain't nothing really changed. You feel me? As far as I see, other than the gas prices going up. You feel me? That was the one thing like Americans feared. You feel me? We ain't over there. We ain't over hear that shit where they was talking about oil and shit. And that's what get niggas' attention. Gas prices gonna go up, and you see that shit now. Like, I seen in California. We was talking about the prices out here. I seen in California. They had a picture. That shit was $6.71 a gallon. Oh man, it's
crazy.
I'm on the bus.
It gets worse. It gets worse. Now, we always talk about the 70s. Gas prices tripled in the 70s.
Right.
So,
man, you gotta get your
like adjusted for inflation, we could be looking at $10 gas in the next 2-3 years.
Get that out of hand for sure.
Yeah. Because you got to think like that. I mean, gas is going to go up off of the strength of all the stimulus, but also like whatever go on in Russia, every decision that get made over there is going to affect gas prices. So even if this, like how you just said, this war could drag on, the longer it does, the higher gas prices go. Every decision that they make impacts gas. It could only got nothing to do with gas. Every decision that they make in a literal sense will impact gas prices.
Right.
So that being true, like who knows what we could be looking at, and gas has moved up $1 in a week. That has never happened ever in history. Like how I just said, like but before we started recording, I was like, we are like witnessing history. That is literally true. It took years. The whole 70s, from 1970 to 1980, gas prices tripled. We just watched gas go up $1 in literally, factually, a week. I don't think that'll continue, but I didn't think it would happen, and it did. So it don't matter what we think, like clearly history is rewriting itself every week, every month. And that is just ridiculous. Like you just said, some places it's 7. Like what?
Right. Especially like in LA where you're stuck in the freeway for like 30 minutes plus.
Yeah.
Just burning gas. Like
just sitting there.
Turn your car off from the freeway.
Remember gas used to be 50 cents. Like so somebody that was used to paying that and then started paying $2, like we got that normalized where gas is a couple of dollars. Somebody looked at that couple of dollars as an outrage. Like some 80-year-old was like, man, I remember when gas was 75 cents. Now it's $3, and now we $3, $2 is regular to us, and now we seeing 5 and 7, and we sitting here like, oh my God. It's crazy how like you proportionately had those same types of reactions. Like, what is going on? Like the norm to us is crazy to somebody else. If gas gets stuck at like a higher price, let's say gas is a new low for gas is $5 over the next 25 years. The low price of gas will be $5. Everybody who just started driving will be accustomed to $5 being the low end, and us at 30 and 40 gonna be like, man, I remember when gas was $2.15.
Right.
Like that's wild to just see it happen in real time.
Yeah.
Reading about stuff and then seeing it play out, seeing people's reactions, having those conversations in real time. That stuff is crazy.
I read this article about how gas stations are going to start remodeling their properties in order to cater towards like not just gas but like legitimate grocery shopping because gas prices are raising so much.
Mm-hmm.
So Y'all, I want to ask y'all, how do you think the raising gas prices is going to affect business in general?
Shit, I need to go so many places with that. Raising gas prices, if it affects the transportation of goods, you feel me? Therefore, it affects the price of goods, the cost of goods, you know. So it's just gonna make everything more expensive. Like gas is how shit moves and how the world moves. Like plane tickets gonna be more. You feel me? It's gonna cost more to fill up planes. It's gonna be more to fill up semi trucks. It's gonna be more to fill up your Uber Eats car driver cars. It's gonna be more. Like the whole what's the word? The whole it's a word for like the line of like the whole process, the whole no, like just like the whole process of the goods, like from being picked up to coming to your shelf. You feel me? It's a word for that, but whatever, the whole line is just gonna be more expensive. Every point in the system is gonna be more expensive to get that to your plate. You feel me? To your table. So everything gonna raise. But you said they were like streamlining that business to focus on groceries because of the rising price of gas.
Yeah, like
what's the correlation? Like, so you don't have to go more than one place type shit, or like what's the thought behind that?
I think they're making it to where it's like, I mean, where you go to the gas station and your main goal isn't for gas, it's like a grocery shop first, but we also got gas on the side, you know, like a smaller Walmart or something like that.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy you say that. If you Google a picture of 7-Eleven in the 70s and 80s, they used to have 2 cashiers. They design was like, they had like not desks, but like they had like their own little like cubicles type where everybody that needed something could kind of get tended to. So it kind of seemed like they kind of going not back to that in practice, but back to that in like intent and desire in terms of catering as many needs as possible simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like I like that, you know. Like I want, just like he said, I don't really understand the correlation, because it seemed like that would increase expenses for them. You know, like now you got to go buy stuff that you're not already having to buy, but you'll attract people that you aren't already attracting. So if they come in here and spending that high price on gas anyway, I guess there's a way you can make money. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's actually super cool. I like that though. Like I think higher gas prices definitely gonna be killing people. Just like he broke down, like that domino effect is real. It's people that's eating that cost first is gonna realize they eating that higher cost. So that's why prices rise. Nobody wants to eat that cost. You can't raise prices because you don't make anything, you know. So the consumer gotta eat the high cost. But if that's forcing businesses to cater to the customer more, then that's a win. You know, if you gotta pay high prices, but businesses at least caring a little more about you, they being a little more customizable with their services towards you, then that's cool. I'll take that, because you can't do nothing about the rise in prices. You know, like that's inevitable. So the least businesses could do is be a little more attentive to what we like, because we can't do nothing else. But that's dope though. I don't know how other businesses would incorporate stuff like that, but it's dope to at least see somebody trying, you know, just trying to be better. I like that.
Oh man, the move is electric, man. That's to be the move.
Yeah. Like
that's the move. I need an electric car. I'm not about to be paying $10 a gallon. I just can't even imagine.
I'm actually excited to see how this whole thing transpires though. If y'all want to like make a quick side note to compare gas versus electric, how do y'all see this playing out over the next 5 to 10 years? Because just like you said, electric is the way. All the big automakers. So another little side fun fact: the very first thing Obama ever did when he very first became president was bail out the big automakers. That was the very first thing. Before he saved our economy, the world economy was on the line. He cared more about Ford and General Motors than our economy. That's a fact. The very first thing he ever did was give billions to them, only for them to still dick it off and be in the same position that they're in. That's neither here nor there. But I say that to say, it's cool to hear them. It's like 4 or 5 big automakers, they all are like, we cutting production on gas-powered cars. We trying to go 40% electric. Toyota said they trying to go 40% electric by 2026. So that was super crazy. That came out a couple months ago. So Like electric really is the way. So with that being said, if demand for all like gas powered cars is at all time high prices right now, that has to collapse in the next couple of years. It's like so through that though, with the collapse in prices for those, do y'all see an increase in usage of electric cars or an increase in gas powered cars? Because the gas powered cars will collapse in price. Imagine if you can get a brand new Toyota 2025 Toyota Camry for 10 bands. Like, when it's really a $40,000 car right now, nobody's gonna want them. Everybody's gonna be trying to go electric. So then the electric car is gonna start seeing an increase in price, and gas powered car is gonna be on fire sales. Driving Hummers, gas prices gonna have to go down.
I don't know if I necessarily see that.
What do you see? I could be totally wrong. That's why I was asking though. Like, what do you see happening?
I feel like the powers that be have already spoken. It's already mandated that the majority of cars produced by the year 2030 or whatever the year exactly was that they said is has to be electric. So they pretty much already forced that upon the world that we going electric. I think gas powered cars for that reason are gonna be more expensive. You feel me? It's like when you exile something, like when you feel me, like stop something from being made. You feel me? The value of it goes up. Like gas cars is not the it thing no more. They no longer being manufactured like that. Like the price of them motherfuckers gonna go up. That's why you got people buying like Hellcats and shit like that because they not gonna be making nothing like that. Like they already.
But they mass produce though. They make so many of all of these cars, and they make them the year before. Okay. So, I agree with you in the long run that they very well could increase in price because some cars could become a rarity in a sense. But in general, especially American-made cars, they are so mass-produced that how are they got to get them off? You know,
yeah, like they still gonna be sold, obviously.
Yeah, but I think that's. I think I see most of those cars collapsing in price because they made too many. All the Hondas in the world, like, there's a lot of those. I agree with the Hellcat stuff. Like certain types of cars, especially a sports car, somebody probably gonna always want those. And they said that they stopped making those in like a year, right?
Yeah,
they doing that real soon. They not even trying to phase that out later. Like they cutting that out. Look, they doing that with the Camaro too. It's like 3 cars that they.
That's a Josh always did that though. Like the Hellcat is not something that been around. Like
they didn't start that like 07 or 08
type of shit. You feel me? Like,
it's crazy though.
You go on to the next shit. You feel me? Like it's not a lot of cars that's been around for long that's still the same or whatever. Like it's still the same as when they first made them. You feel me? It's just like a cycle like that. We did that. You feel me? Now we on to the next. But to your point about the mass production of vehicles, like obviously with the rules that's been put in place by the administrations that be, you feel me? Obviously, yes, you mass produce, but you obviously don't make as many. You feel me? If you heard this is being phased out, you're just still at your discretion how many of those you make. Just because it's mass produced, I mean it's gotta be however many. Like we know we making like cars. All these companies are already making electric cars. You feel me? Like. They not waiting till that year to start making the cars. Like that's when the percentage has to be to a certain point. But they already making electric cars. So how many gas powered cars are they still making like on the assembly line compared to the electric cars today? You feel me? Versus in years from now, it's mass produced, but you feel me? How many? You feel me? We not gonna make as much. No one will we know. You feel me? The game, the playbook has been laid out already. Like the move is to go electric.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I look forward to it. It's gonna be interesting, man. I can't wait till I'm old, dog. Like I cannot wait till I'm old and just see the world, how everything is different, dog. Like
technology might
save car, you can fly your car with your phone type shit.
Yeah, see, I don't even know if y'all don't anticipate nothing, no crazy shit like that. Like I hear all of that shit, but I don't like. And I mean, I don't deny that it's possible or nothing, but I don't personally anticipate like the extremes of like when people say what the future is gonna be. I don't know. I never go to extremes because all of that shit just take years to develop, bro. Like I ain't.
Pull up. I would have agreed with you had I not seen this video on YouTube. It's called British Inventions That Didn't Succeed, or You'll find it if you Google some variation of that. They were up on stuff like this in the 60s. Like, I totally seeing that. When I'm talking about jet. Do you remember when we used to watch Gilligan's Island at school? Mm-hmm. Remember the dumb one? He had a jetpack and was flying around with the jetpack. Gilligan. Yeah. Oh yeah. I couldn't remember which one it is, but he was flying around with the jetpack, bro. They were doing stuff like that in the 60s, like fully made. It worked. They are one of the. If you actually watch this video, there's a white dude who has a fan and he straps it to his chest like a backpack and gets underwater and turns the fan on. Is literally like floating on top of water, bro. Watch this video. It was crazy. Like they was up on this stuff in the 60s. They got something. I could totally see the extremes being way more in advanced progressions than we think. Like to see in the 60s, they had stuff not prototype. It is fully functional and working and being used. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, like I said, I know shit. Like people always working on shit. You feel me? I just don't like, and like I said, I don't deny that it can be. Like I just don't anticipate shit like that. What I'm saying, like. I know the world gonna be different. Like I know at least you feel me, cars gonna be electric at the least, or whatever. Like whether it's just a lot to go into that. Like having flying cars, like you feel me, it's a lot to go into that. Like
but that's what I'm saying, bro. It exists.
Okay, but I'm sorry. My point is like being on the main.
Oh, okay, like being regular and normal. Okay, I get you.
Right.
I was saying, that video shows like this.
Like you can say
thing
that.
Now.
You can say that now. Like there are flying cars. Like is it like the world is the norm? You feel me? There are electric cars. Is it like the norm yet? Like, and electric cars are normal now, kind of, but it's not the norm. I wouldn't say it's the norm. You feel me? But so that's what I'm saying. By the end of my lifetime, like I think that'll be the norm. Like it will be probably flying cars, but will it be the norm in my lifetime? Like I don't know. I'm not gonna anticipate that. You feel me? But
I mean, to go back to the whole Kanye
traffic
shit,
lights in the sky.
I know. I believe, just like you said, I believe all this technology that we see on TV is already made. Like somebody had to think of that, and then somebody had to have tried it out. And it's just like a matter of what is why are we? There needs to be a reason for us to invest in this invention. Like same thing with Dame Dash and Kanye. Like I need a reason to invest in your album, and Kanye wouldn't present him with a reason. So. Maybe this whole Russia-Ukraine crisis is a rollout for flying cars.
I could see it being a rollout for something. I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as it was for flying cars, but I'm totally with you in terms of stuff being a grand opening and presenting of certain things. I'm totally with you on that though.
I look forward to shit like Elon Musk, like the Neuralink and shit, like space travel and shit like that. Like,
what if World War II was the rollout for the nuke?
It was.
So yeah.
No, but like, what if
it was
the whole point of the war was to?
I don't know that's not true though.
Oh.
I wouldn't state that was the definitive reason because factually it's not the definitive reason, but I firmly believe. So first of all, if we go back to the OG, I just learned this about Albert Einstein. You know that E equals MC squared shit? How we like that's just a joke. Mm-hmm. So one of his claims to fame was that he accidentally taught the government how to create the atomic bomb. He wasn't trying to. He was outwardly like an activist, outwardly against war and stuff like that. But they were coming up with a bunch of scientific stuff that he was like, bro, y'all don't know what y'all doing. It's this. And then when he realized they obviously employed billions or however much money, spent years and years and years. And that's how the atomic bomb was created. Like, low-key, he was like, damn. So, I could see that.
So, do you think we were just sitting on the bomb and we're like, we need a reason to use this? Like,
low key, because we entered the war halfway when it was over. And we responded as soon as we got into the war. We responded by dropping bombs on people. That's why I'm like, that's not as far fetched as you would think. It's like, why were we playing the sidelines in this war? That could be answered with whatever reason. But to which point I'd respond, well, why was it that the very first thing we did when we entered the war was bomb people? Remember I told you they dropped those 2 bombs on Japan in a week. They dropped the first one, and then 3 days later, they dropped the second, and then 7 days after that, Japan quit the war. Y'all was fighting this war for 5 years and quit in 10 days because of 2 bombs. Like, so that's low key. Like, what if y'all did have intention? Like that's because would we have entered the war if we didn't? I mean, maybe because Pearl Harbor still happened, but would we have been so quick to do what we did or respond how we responded if we didn't have bombs? That's a great question.
Opportunity
like
to test out our, you feel me, our shit. So what we working with, it was a perfect opportunity.
Fuck niggas up.
What if that shit didn't work though? Like, what if we dropped that shit and it broke a house too? And they were just looking at that shit like, really?
Hey. Well, I'm sure that's what was going on before they got Albert Einstein to really critique what they was doing wrong. Like, man, that's why they was out here with it, to make mistakes where it ain't gonna be costly to nobody, you know? Like, nothing out here existed. There wasn't a Las Vegas. There wasn't a strip. It was just dirt. And a bunch of niggas willing to blow shit up. Like, I could totally see that. But that's crazy to think. Like, what if that was the rollout? Because we was the only ones with that at that point. Nobody had that.
They said America's dropping this week.
Right. They dropped an album. Album of the year. Like, album of the year.
We about to blow up.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
That reminds me, it's a movie on Netflix called Don't Look Up. I don't know if I told you about that shit or not, but the premise of it was they found scientists found like an asteroid, an asteroid or whatever that was about to run directly into Earth, you feel me, and kind of like destroy the Earth, you feel me, like ruin the nation type shit. And they took it to the president or whatever, and she wasn't fucking with them at first, like ain't believe him, joking on them and shit. And then it was like this big scientist nigga with like a billionaire nigga, and he found a way to he spit the narrative basically that like it was a good thing, like we was gonna get all these resources from the asteroid if we was able to like. He was like, basically, like, we gonna create millions of jobs from this asteroid hitting Earth. Like, we gonna send people, like, we gonna pick it apart little by little on its way to Earth, and we gonna extract all these different metals and shit from it, and like, you feel me, we gonna make it worthwhile type shit. But that just remind me of that, like, how the scientist was like, nigga, like, we about to die. Like,
what happened? Did they die?
I ain't gonna spoil it. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't see the film. I ain't finished the movie yet.
You don't want to spoil it for yourself. That's why you said that. I gotta watch the last 40 minutes of it. Like,
I gotta watch the last 30. I gotta watch the last 30.
Like,
you know. The asshole. What happened? Fuck you.
Nah, I do want to know. I like watching shit like that. Though, like 2012, those types of movies.
That shit was a good ass movie. That shit was funny as fuck, and it was like, you feel me? That shit was a good ass movie.
Damn, this shit could really happen.
That shit was a good ass movie. But well, y'all want to talk about sports or something like that?
Shit, what happened in sports, man?
Yeah, I saw y'all James Harden in Philly.
Oh my God, bro! Has it been 4 games now or 5?
I think 5.
They have had 5 consecutive games where they look unbeatable.
Unbeatable. That's